Hello? Hello again. Ian Sticky with Mastermind Games here, and this time, painting Chapter Master of the Ultramarines, Papa Smurf himself, Marneus Calgar, starting with Golden Skin 09092. So, with all the hype over Primaris Calgar coming out, it is complete coincidence that I'm actually doing him now. I've had him and that entourage of his on my shelf for months waiting their turn. So he was coming up regardless of the announcement. Gotta turn my reverb down. So yeah, complete coincidence I'm doing this guy at this time. Now regarding the new version, I'm okay with it, but I do feel that Chaos Space Marines could use some attention too. They're getting at least a new character, but they could use a few resculpts, maybe some new Havocs and Noise Marines. Those come to mind. But as for the stats they've previewed for Calgar already, it seems like a fairly minor upgrade at best here. So Ultramarine from War Paints, or Ultramarine Blue. And his saves are a little better. His key abilities, which are his buffs, seem like they're the same. His attacks haven't really changed much of anything. So, yeah, not caring too much one way or the other. I'll get the Primaris Calgar eventually, but I'm not going to consider it a huge priority. Rather get Gilliman before I get a new Calgar after more or less just getting this one. His armor is a specialized Terminator armor. Can't remember the exact name of it, but I know it's got one. And since he's resin, he was a pain to get cleaned up, but can't hold that against him, James Workshop, though, because it is an excellent looking model. Get the gauntlets of Ultramar here. And I have exactly 2 books with Calgar in them. One is Dark Imperium that Calgar is barely in, in which he has an interaction with Gilliman that Gilliman's not all that happy about, but the other is Calgar's Fury, where he investigates a space Hulk and ends up getting betrayed by the Adeptus Mechanicus. Maybe I should have said spoiler alert, but keep that in mind next time. But yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of this brand a little better at least, but still got things to do with it. Okay, it's pretty good. And yeah, he's got a blade of some kind. It's a third melee weapon, but it doesn't give any extra attacks. It's kind of strange, because his Gauntlets of Ultramar don't actually have a penalty on their attacks despite being power fists. So let that try, come back in a minute. Okay. think a second. 09062 leather white. At least I'm usually seeing him depicted with gray hair. Deep red 09002, which is plugged up, which is why I keep a paper clip on hand for exactly this situation. Prairie seal, one there. This set of tassels in front of his legs. I'm not sure exactly what to call these, or if there's even a technical term for them, but there we go. It's all just there for style points anyway, no practical purpose per se. Just to make him look more intimidating, I suppose. And then on his elbow, 2 on his shoulder here. Let's see, I want to try to make sure I don't miss anything on this go round. Okay. Then where is it? Imperial Purple 09023. It's not a good sound. This cape of his painted up. And why purple? Well, why not? Many colors have associations with them, and one of the associations with purple is royalty. And Calgar is, after all, the chapter master, so why not? So that's how it connects to his armor. You can't really see the other connection point because of the armpit being right there. Just there to make him look striking and intimidating and important. Of course, then again, a guy who's at least 6 feet tall, probably closer to 7, coming at you in heavy armor with a giant fist and a gun slung under each is probably going to be plenty intimidating without any kind of bric-a-brac, but... And then oiled leather 09110. I'll be picking out some of the details on this scabbard later, but for now I'm just gonna do the whole thing in this. And where is it? 09206 tarnished steel. For the ammo belts for his bolters. Gotta tell you, those were a pain to figure out when I assembled him. I obviously got it, but still kind of a pain. Then get the cybernetics. Now, what else can I do before I do? Alright. 09088 Stormy Gray. This is also just going on the underslung bolters. And then Cloudy Gray 09089. We'll go ahead and get the rubble he's standing on. So the question really becomes, is this the rubble of a bastion he's defending, or the rubble of an enemy conquered? Could be either or. So in terms of, like I said, I don't care that Calgar's getting a new version. To a certain extent, I get it since he was the first character in the game. But I also get the argument that the Space Marines always get A-list attention from Games Workshop, and that other groups could use some little more. I mean, the Orcs just got their new war buggies. Tau got some new stuff in the last edition. But, yeah. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry for a bit. Well, yeah, I'm gonna let that dry for a bit before I move on. Think about a few other details where those bolters connect to the armor, all the cable in there, and back in a bit then. Okay. Gonna go ahead and take that tarnished steel again, 09206, and do a few more cables on his arms. There's the brush I need. At this stage, keep your brushes moist but not overly wet. And the cable on the other side is kind of obscured by purity seal, so we'll call that good. And I'm going to take Fire Red 09004. And apparently unintentionally tossed my brush, but I'm going to pick up this other cable here. Oh man, I missed a purity seal. Alright, I'll get it. So just pick up this other cable here, and it's made on the other side. Let's go ahead and take Deep Red 09002 and real quick touch up the seal I missed. It's tucked in so close to the elbow joint, it looks like just another piece of the machinery. But speaking of purity seals, Yellowed Bone 09143. Alright, so okay, I think that's it for seals. Go ahead and take that deep red and do the wrapping on his little sword here that he's probably never going to end up using. And Antique Gold 09050. Huh. Looks like there's actually a purity seal on all of this here. Kind of odd placement, but just roll with it. And another one I just noticed. Holy cow. So this one might be on his leg. Now maybe I can get back to the gold properly. Maybe. All this bric-a-brac hanging off his belt. No shortage of iconography on the chapter master. Which in this case I feel is fitting without being too busy like that standard. Is what it is there. avoiding that sensor cluster on his cowl. Let's see what else is here. And I forgot about his crux terminal, so I'll have to pull out the paint and do that in a minute. At the pommel of his sword. I'm assuming he carries this for ceremonial reasons. Because he's already got a superior close combat weapon in the form of the gauntlets of Ultramar. But with the Primaris craze, there's already confirmation that Fabius Bile of the Chaos Space Marines wants to inspect them. And now, with the Orcs Codex, Mad Doc Grotznick wants to take a look at him too. That mean Primaris Orcs? Probably not. But a blurb in the fiction somewhere talking about Grotznick's weird experiments makes me wonder. Well, not so much wonder, makes me think about doing a squad of orc boys up as horrible abominations with multiple heads, multiple arms in weird spots. Might be fun mod project. Okay, let's see here. I want to make sure I've gotten all the gold before I go back and touch up the badge here. And looks like I finally do, so Cloudy Gray 09089. That should be plenty. Get that Crux Terminatus. I know Calgar's armor has a specific name, but I can't think of it right now. It's like a specific suit. And in that book, Calgar's Fury, got the tar beaten out of it. And he had to, he was musing that ironically he'd have to send it back to Mars for repair work. Ironic because it got beat up by the Mechanicus, or rather their machinations. It also depicted Calgar as wearing one of the beak-style helmets. So I think I need to touch up the blue in a few spots, but I'll do that off camera. So, the shading's next. Alright, time to start shading. Starting off with, this one, Linen White 09061. Gotta love it when they fight you. And about half paint, half water. You want it runny and ink-like. Get his hair. And Ancient Bronze 09049 will get all the gold highlighted. Now, some of these metallics don't dilute as nicely, but this isn't one of them. Now, to a certain extent, it doesn't matter what order of color on this as long as I get them all, but it helps to go with the higher areas to the lower areas. And with the base coats, starting with the lowest areas in the model, going to the highest usually also helps. Just things to think about when you're painting. And he's got this big elaborate gila on his shoulder here. The little skulls. That one's Ultramarine and his ultimate symbol. The little skull ornament and the chain. This, I'm assuming it's an Agila. I don't see its second head. Okay, now that gets all the gold. I think there's one more color I can do. That's going to be Blood Red 09003, and I'm going to get those two wires. Now, if I wanted these brighter, I would have done a second coat of the Fire Red. But I'm okay with this being a little darker and duller here, so. But that is definitely a color where you'll want to use a second coat on the straight black to make it pop a little more. Okay, let's see anything else? And not really, so go ahead and let that dry before moving on. Okay, up next is Red Brick 09001. too terribly much of this. 09205 Blackened Steel. About half paint, half water again. Just gotta keep reiterating it through repetition. I think I just used 2 synonyms in a row. Boy, see, that's how today's going. And then I can do one more right now, and that's going to be Ruddy Leather 09109. Don't need much of it at all. It's only going on part of the scabbard. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and move on a little bit. Okay. Gonna go with Pure Black 09037. Just a little bit, and this is going to be diluted more thoroughly. At least 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 paint to water, or water to paint. It's been a long day, I'm a little backwards. So I decided to pick up a couple of Space Marines Heroes, the blind purchase thing, to test out some different paint schemes. So if you want to see that, let me know. But if I don't hear in the comments soon, I'm just going to go ahead and not film these experiments. But they would include salamanders and imperial fists, among others. But just let me know in the comments. If I don't hear anything, I'm just going to do them without filming. Stained Ivory 09142. That actually might be enough. It's just a little bit. Parchment, parchment, parchment. And Pure White 090. Well, no, not yet on this because I still got a skin tone. Let's do that now. Golden Shadow 09091. Forgot I hadn't shaded its skin yet. Okay. Okay. Alright, that's better. Let's hit the hair. So now, where is it? Nightshade Purple 09022. Which is plugged up. So Turn that out a little more. Okay. And that's going to have to wait till it all dries before I move on. So we're getting there. Okay. Now the big one, Ultramarine Shadow 09187. Bottle's about empty, but that's alright. This one I think I have a spare of. Being real careful on the face. Well, and every other detail I don't want to get. There's a lot going on the front of Calgar here. Okay, getting there. Just being real careful again around everything I've done before. Okay, so on the topic of repeat videos, since it's now become relevant, I might go ahead and do some of those, do higher quality versions of previous videos were practical, since I've got a better camera now. Alright, and now it's got to dry, and then when it does, I can do the last shade and start the lighting effects. Alright, time to start lighting effects and finish shading. So pure white 09039. Dotting in the pupil on his organic eye, and then his bionic one. Comparing his power fist to another one I've got coming up here. Then I'm going to thin this out a little. And kind of inspired by a video I saw, I'm going to try to do some lighting effects on the joints and knuckles here. We'll just see how well it turns out once I finish. But if you never experiment, you never grow. And so we'll just see how this ends up looking when I finish. And then I'm going to take, where is it? 09088 Stormy Gray and get the last shading. But I cannot remember what creator did this, but YouTube video of a Imperial Guardsman going up against a Tyrannid, running out of lasgun ammo, pulling a knife, and then a Space Marine from apparently a Dark Angel successor chapter showing up with a power fist and putting the smack down. But the animator did some interesting lighting effects on that power fist in this little video, which was actually live action, so actual actors. I couldn't tell if the Space Marine was CG or not, but it could have been either one. But maybe want to try out some lighting effects on the power fist too. If I can find that video again, I might put a link down here in the description. Okay, and that's the last of the shading. Yeah, I'm gonna need to wait a minute before I hit the lighting effects. That's alright. I still need to get the barrels of the bolt guns, and I need to wait for the people to dry before I do that anyway. Okay, things are dry enough, I can continue on. So, pure black 09037, just a tiny dot of it. And an equally tiny brush. Let's make sure I'm camera for this. Focus. It's going to carefully dot in his pupil. Just like that. And get the barrels of his underslung bolters. Okay, now think I got it. So Ruby Red 09101, which is plugged up again. And then 2 or 3 parts water to 1 part paint for the lighting effect. And you want some of the white showing through, because that helps it seem like it's glowing. Okay. Now I figure out how I'm going to do the power fists here. Take Sparkling Blue 09104. And we'll see if this works. I'm going to try probably 4 times the amount of water to paint. Get it extra thin. My concern is, blue on blue here. Not too bad, I guess, but it is something I'm going to need to keep experimenting with, I think. Yeah, definitely something to keep experimenting with, but I think I'm on the right track. This isn't bad, though. Okay, well, that's lighting, so once everything is completely dry, I can start highlighting and finish any last little details and finish up. Okay, time to highlight. Well, I'll turn that down a bit. Trying to avoid skull-splitting reverb. Ultramarine Highlight 09189. Picking out a brush. So just so you can see what I'm talking about with dry brushing. No water. And rub it out on a paper towel till it looks like there's almost no paint left. And lightly dust. I'm concerning myself with the most obvious areas. It's not the best surface because it's so flimsy, but this box, but that's just there to rest them all on, act as kind of a display for it. So Okay. Dry out your brush thoroughly. Okay. Think I turned my speaker down a little too much. Burnt orange 09111. Tiny dot. Whoa! Flying paint pot. A little overexcited, I guess. Golden highlight 09093. So they've previewed the new Calgar kit, and it looks like he'll have an alternate head with a helmet on. So that's something I could do different when I eventually do get the Marneus Calgar. But as I said, that's a fairly low priority for me, especially since I'm just getting him done now. Ghost White 09063. It's actually going to be more than enough, that little dot. Not that you can see it now that I think about it, but Blood Red 09003. Switch brushes, I think. There's a bigger one than that. No, this will do. Amethyst Purple 09024. Huh. And I've just noticed a plug I've been relying on apparently has died, so I'm going to have to look into getting a new battery for it. Well, that's too bad. It's not that big a deal either. It's fairly subtle on the cape here, but subtle is nice. At least in some cases. I'm not going to bother with the underside here. That's good. Oh, missed a spot on the red there. I just realized. Let's just take that blood red again and just make this real quick. Okay, now Phoenix Red 09005. While I'm shaking this up, I'm going to get another brush out. Need something a little finer. That does not look good. Except a little more. much better. Wires here. Right. Get in there. Creamy Ivory 09144. See, 09089 Cloudy Gray. This didn't turn out too bad, but it definitely needs some, we'll say, improvements to the process to get the glowing effect. Though it might be a little more obvious on another color other than blue, since I'm using blue light. But I am just sticking with blue lighting on these power weapons for consistency. And True Silver 09207. New Gold 09051. one color left to highlight. Then I'm going to have to let it dry. Then I can finish up details and start basing, and that's going to be Misty Gray 09090. Okay, that's highlights. Once that's completely dry, I can add in a few details and get the basing done. Okay, detail time. Pure black 09037. Well, trying to put Calgar on the leg, but minimal success. Well, as I tried. And just squiggles, dots, and dashes to do the writing on the purity seals. Though leaving them completely blank would also be appropriate, I think. But the Beast Arises series has a bit depicting how purity seals for Black Templars are created, and they make them in a holy ritual with their own blood. Write on a parchment with their own blood, tear it up into purity seals afterwards. Okay. I don't think there's any other. Just take a quick look and see if there's any other areas for writing. I don't see any, so switching to a flathead brush. And getting the edge of the base. Okay. Once that's completely dry, I can add the talus. Okay, time to finish up with the basing material. And this is talus or rock debris. I've got a mix of medium, fine, and coarse in there. Now, off camera, I touched up Calgar's mouth, added in a little deep red, and then did the teeth in pure white. Taking white glue. Where's my eyedropper? There it is. And then plenty of water, about half and half. And a sacrificial brush to blend it all together and mix it into a consistent solution. This little container is just an old Gatorade bottle lid. Just any convenient container will do for this. Doesn't have to be big. so anything salvaged is just fine. Eep. And then just brush it around the base there. I'm not as worried about brushing away excess on this since Marneus Calgar is just standing on a big rock or pile of debris. So I'll just dip it in, shake off some excess, take a second brush that's dry. Let's see what's a good one. Looks pretty good. Brush away the excess from where we don't want it. Which in this case is pushing it down a bit, but not necessarily a whole lot. Give another go, try to get some of that in the gap here on the rock. Now this is going to have to sit for a bit because still need to seal it, but if I don't let it sit first, the spray or brush on adhesive I use to seal it will just push this flock or this talus around and make little holes and divots, which you're probably not going to want. Just dusting off. Okay. Let that sit for a bit before sealing it. But just about there. Now that our basing materials had ample time to dry, taking a spray or brush on adhesive with an eyedropper, glass because this will stick to plastic quickly, and just carefully drip it in. Material will suck this up pretty quickly. Just want it to look moist. Or, yeah, now get it wet. Okay. And that is that. Chapter Master Marneus Calgar. Close in a bit. There we go. So, got a few more Space Marine models coming up, but until next time, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.